No, yeah. We get mommy prize! Sorry, the audio only got my best one so far.
Yeah, they did. Even
Sorry.
I'm staying. Wow.
3.
No.
We get mommy prize! I am Jacob. This is...
What's up, guys? Ray.
That's very nice, Ray. What's up to you, too? And we're here to talk about our daily podcasting. We have so much to talk about. Some major annoyances, some not so major annoyances, some straight up pissing offs. Who knows? We'll talk about it. And of course, stay tuned to the very end to hear us discuss episodes 5 and 6 of The Boys Season 2. Very, very happy to talk about it with you guys. And of course, movie commentaries and what we have been watching will also be showing up near the end. But Zachary, where do you want to start?
Peacemaker. Let's get into this.
All right, so you can talk about it.
So, DC announced that coming to HBO Max is a Peacemaker called "What the Fuck Peacemaker," is the title, I guess, from the picture that they showed. Peacemaker.
I think it's called Peacemaker. I think it was just a nice little art piece.
Peacemaker, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the new Suicide Squad members from the new Suicide Squad coming out in 2021. Okay. I see this news. I'm like, okay, they have confidence in this project, obviously, to give this guy his own show. Here's my problem. Here's my monumental problem. And I want to involve Justice League a little bit in this as well, because it involves them for HBO Max. My biggest issue with DC before the, what I consider the new era, new turn of DC, of not just going, okay, this is great, give it its own thing, give it its own thing. This past 2 years, it's been, okay, this project really well, we did a good job with it, let's see how people think, that's great, let's move on. Before that, it was like, let's do this, oh no, people are scared, take it back. This is what I'm afraid of with this. They said Suicide Squad, it's John Cena, he's great, give him his own show. And I'm like, oh, no. Don't do this again. We've gotten past this. Don't just go, it's John Cena. Give him his own show. Because you said, it's Harley Quinn. Give her own movie. Look what happened. That's all I'm saying. I don't want them to be this quick before you even see the movie. What if we don't even like John Cena's Peacemaker? Then you just gave this guy 6 episodes, $50 million budget per episode, and now no one's going to watch your show. Wait till the film comes out. You shouldn't have announced this yet. It was too far too soon. That's my 2 cents. I think they overcooked this way too quick. I think they should have taken it back before it got announced. Wait till the film came out and then said, "Hey, you like John Cena? Here he comes as Peacemaker. Let's give him his own show on HBO Max." That's my 2 cents. Same thing with Justice League. They just announced that they're doing new shoots for Justice League amidst the whole Ray Fisher situation. And I don't think it was a good idea to announce that right now either. I feel like they're just going
Well, I think the Ray Fisher situation is Warner Brothers telling him shut the fuck up, in my personal opinion, which is the reason why they announced it and stuff. But then again, you also have other actors coming out and saying that they did not get a call saying that they're coming back to do reshoots and stuff or continues and things. Such as Henry Cavill has come out and said personally that he has not yet gotten a call saying that he is welcome back onto the set whenever they do start filming extra scenes and stuff.
Well, he's working on Witcher, so he came out also that he's working on Witcher season 2, so he doesn't have time to do it anyway.
Well, he would have to have time, Zachary. They would have to work around the schedule because.
But do you see what I'm saying though about being reactionary?
Hold on. Okay, back to Peacemaker. That was a totally different thing. I have a feeling that was announced just simply to say, "Hey, do you want to still be a part of this?" And whole 9 yards. But he would still be a part of it. But how much do you want to be a part of it? In the long run, type of thing. Peacemaker, on the other hand, I think is a brilliant idea. And let me explain why I think Peacemaker is a brilliant idea. We have 2 things important here. One, what a great promotional. We are in the middle of a pandemic. Okay, do you understand what happens when people get put in a pandemic and are quarantined to their house? Not John, oh my God, was James Gunn and Suicide Squad during the pandemic. Do you know what James Gunn also did during the pandemic? Wrote 6 episodes for Peacemaker. And do you know what that means? That means they can start filming edit, do the whole 9 yards before the movie comes out, and that's great promotional material for Suicide Squad to get you excited about a Suicide Squad member going into the movie, which could die in the first 10 minutes. Sure, that's a possibility, and you know what? We're going to talk about that as well. Could be a negative, but also could be kind of funny. It's a mixed bag here. I get it. But on the other hand, I think it's the perfect character. And let me explain. It is Captain America for DC. And I mean, look at Captain America. Great. John Cena is so fucking funny if you give him the right material. Also, this confirms Suicide Squad is rated R. Why would you make the TV show TVMA if the movie itself isn't rated R? So, great for us. I think this was a joyful, great old day for me. Personally, I'm disagreeing with Zachary on this opinion and so forth.
That's
because
fine.
I think they have enough time to greenlit this, go on to film it, whole 9 yards, and then ship it out before even Suicide Squad hits the tables. And we hate Peacemaker and he dies in the first 10 minutes. And you get to see a character you hate die. If you love him and he dies in the first minutes, you get to see a character you love die. Either way, it's a great time.
So you're going off on the fact that they're going to shoot this before the film comes out, right? That's
that would
your
be the only reason why I'd say greenlit.
But that's your whole, your piece with it, saying that they're going to come out before the movie, right? What if you're wrong? And this is
die.
No, but he doesn't die, and you hate the character. Do you still want to show then?
Yeah, because the character in the movie is a different character than we're getting in the TV show because this is an origin story. The Peace character that we're getting is a totally different character. I like John Cena enough that I am willing to. I'm going to give it a good old try. Personally, I think these should be 30 minutes long, nothing longer. A great half hour every week. Sounds like a fun time.
But you see where I'm coming from, though, right?
I don't feel like that's even possible. What?
But you see where I'm coming from and understand what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know. I think we're above it. I think we're moving past that stage in life. I think whatever is going forward is for proper reasons. Also, can we just talk about the amount of support Warner Bros. Is like? Here you go, James Gunn.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to get to the reasons why he can work on these projects because of another project that he can't work on for several more years because of delays and delays and delays. Who knows who will get?
And delays and delays and delays and delays.
And delays and delays and delays and delays and delays. Can I talk about delays one more time? Because fuck, too many delays. Going on off of DC, I don't know. Do you have anything else to add for this?
No.
The title card right here. I didn't think so. So we're going to move on over to Hawkman, which was announced. Now, these are in question marks for reasons because neither of these castings that we're going to be talking about here today have been officially...
Dwayne Johnson confirmed.
Nope.
Hawkman.
None of these have been officially confirmed, at least when I looked at the Hollywood Reporter yesterday. These are all people in talks, and by talks, I mean these are people who have the contracts waiting to sign to become these characters. So, practically already there, but not there yet. The first one is Hawkman, casted question mark, because they could change. But I have a feeling it's going to stay the same. Huh?
I don't think it's going to change, personally.
I don't think it's going to change either, personally. And this is Adis Hodge, which is most known. He is most known for The Invisible Man. He plays the best friend to Celia, and who gets beat up at the end of the movie. No spoilers, but spoilers. And he will be playing Hawkman. Ironically, Hawkgirl was kicked out of this film, so she will make her appearance here, but she was originally supposed to. And so, Zachary, how do you feel about this casting? These are going to be quick conversations. But
of the two of us from the DC Universe stuff that we covered a couple weeks ago, I have been more excited for the Black Adam movie than you are. I am also super fucking stoked to see the Justice Society of America show up in the film and seeing Hawkman. First of all, this is the first time they're doing a racial change for Hawkman. He's always been traditionally a Caucasian male or a Egyptian in that kind of sense. So there's a different change, but I think it'll be, honestly, I think for the mythology-wise, I think it'll fit better for the canonized movie version they're doing right now with Black Adam. I'm really excited to see him. I think of everybody from the Justice League, besides Green Lantern, I want to see Hawkman the most because he's a really cool character, and to see that fucking lightning mace in action, be pretty dope. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think this is extremely exciting. I can completely, totally agree. With having just seen the first appearance of a live-action Hawkman and Hawkgirl in DC Legends of Tomorrow. I won't lie, I was quite disappointed when I realized only one part of this couple was race-bended because of their Egyptian backgrounds and stuff. I mean, yes, there was Caucasians back then, but the fact that they're so prolific in that time period and things, it would make sense that the characters themselves would be of color. And so I'm really happy with this change, and I'm excited to see what this change would come to. We
Yeah.
obviously knew Black Adam would be an extremely diverse cast just because it's like a Fast and Furious light. The vehicle that they're working with and stuff. And so I think ultimately, I think this was a great. And he's such a great actor. I've enjoyed him, and I thought he did a great job in Invisible Man. Good there. All right, next one is Tinkerbell. Now, I don't want you to get this confused because Tinkerbell was originally cast as Reese Witherspoon. That obviously didn't go anywhere, so it's up to grabs again. Now we're back here with a grownish star, which is Yara Shahid, and she'll be playing Tinkerbell and the live-action Peter Pan pick for Disney Plus.
Which is called Peter Pan and Wendy.
Yeah, Peter Pan and Wendy, which is already filming. It was already filming before the pandemic, and then it got cut short. Mm-hmm. This stars several different people. Hold on, I can pull up this casting for you. They have race banded.
The most notable one. Yeah, the most notable actor is Captain Hook. Whoever's playing Captain Hook is the most notable actor of the bunch.
Peter Pan and I know what it is. Peter Pan and Wendy. Oh my God. Mila Djokovic and Paul S. Anderson. This is their daughter's first actual movie role. She's playing Wendy.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's called Peter Pan, by the way. Original title was Peter Pan and Wendy. I understand why they cut out the Wendy part. And right now it's Jude Law for Captain Hook, Yara Shahid, which I just talked about, Ever Anderson, which is Wendy, and Alexander Maloney, who doesn't have a picture, so I'm assuming it's an unknown, who will be playing Peter Pan. Technically, Ever Anderson's also unknown because she's only done one other project, that was Resident Evil, with her mom. So this will be directed by David Lowery and things based off a novel. But I'm going to go hold up and pull up a picture for you guys so you guys can see what she looks like. So if you guys are watching it, you guys get some visuals. If you're listening to it, yeah, Zachary will probably talk about it. So this is what she looks like. This is our Tinkerbell. Not the greatest picture in the world to show, but essentially this is who you get.
There's Tinkerbell.
There you go. There's good old Tinkerbell.
And to be honest, she has now got the most prestigious role in Disney now. She plays arguably the most important fairy besides the Blue Fairy for Disney. I mean, what if she gets to come around the castle at the beginning of the film and do the opening? I mean,
so I think a big thing we need to talk about here is do you care the fact that they race bended Tinkerbell?
No, I don't.
I feel like I should care more just because Tinkerbell is so unique with her white and being white with the blonde hair and that type of thing. But do I care?
No. All I care is as long as the actor fits the role they're given and they work with the role they're given, that's all that matters to me.
Yep, it's always not about the character, it's about the actor and how they do that. Here.
Yes.
Zachary is yawning, so I'm just gonna. There you go.
I'm done.
Yawn? Okay. Well, that's Tinkerbell. I thought that was very, very exciting and stuff. And I'm curious to see what it'll be. I'm also curious to see what the reception and stuff is for it. If I'm not mistaken, Grownish also has. Yes. Am I right? Yeah. Halle Bailey, who is playing Little Mermaid. And so once again, what is Hollywood? Connections. People you know get you the roles that you want. I'm assuming that this is probably from that whole connection there. Oh, I know this great friend of mine, here's Tinkerbell.
Yeah. And plus, Freeform is part of the Disney company, so all interconnected all together. So it helps that too.
Alrighty, moving on down the list, since we don't really have any specific order here, we're going to move on to Rooster Brothers' new movie, which shocked Zachary. He hasn't heard about this, supposedly. So Rooster Brothers signed a deal with Apple to make an Apple original film, the first Apple original film, It's going to cost around the $40 million is the deal that came in, and it's going to be called Cherry, and it's also going to be starring our good old friend Tom Holland in one of the roles. I'm not entirely sure what role. Honestly, I really should have probably have pulled up the actual article so I can tell you. Oh my god. More details as I break my keyboard. Ignore that. Just yeah. All right, here we go. An army medic suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder becomes a serial bank robber. Sorry, just it took a left turn, and I just wasn't prepared for that left turn. Either a serial bank robber after an addiction to drugs puts him in debt. It will star Tom Holland as the lead role, Kelly Bergondo also as the lead role. Honestly, the only person here that's jumping out at me as like a name talent is, of course, Tom Holland. And we actually do have some cast photos of when they were shooting at one point. Yet are they? Oh my god. Yeah. Hold on. I want you to see this picture of Tom Holland because I can never unsee it. And you need to. Look how cute he looks. He's so cute. Oh my god. That's him.
So, Jacob, you gonna ask me if I'm gonna watch this film?
Well, can you?
No.
Watch the film? Yeah.
Not at all.
Oh my god. Look how there's so much going on one image.
That's great.
Tom Holland, I'll tell you. What a great actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Oh, get over it. So what? Apple is the one who popped out the cash for Cherry.
We get to laugh.
Yeah. I don't know. They didn't write it. It's also based off a book. So it's not an original. But it's their next movie. Will I be watching it? Yeah, you're right. Yep, good for that. Alrighty, well, that's great.
I have our next topic.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's not written down.
Oh,
but I feel as though we should talk about it.
Okay.
Hey, Jacob, what did we do today?
What do you mean?
What did you and me together do today?
Oh, that's in what we've been watching. We're not there yet.
Oh, I really want to talk to you about this movie.
We'll talk about it. Don't you worry.
So then let's just get to the fucking delays, shall we?
Yeah, I thought I took a screenshot of them in order so we would have like an actual diagram going forward. But we don't. Some other smaller stories and stuff that are not on this list as I go through my screenshots, I discover how long it's been since we did a podcast. Harry Styles' agent is signing him so many deals. It's unreal. He has another movie coming up in Amazon, which also will star Lily James. It's my
Pictures came out for that one.
Huh?
Pictures came out for that one.
Oh, okay. Harley Quinn did get renewed for season 3, dropping DC Universe altogether, which confirms the DC Universe by December 31st, probably of this year, will be obsolete.
That's not true. DC Universe is going to become DC Universe Infinite. It'll just be a straight comic streaming service now, as well as going to become all of the original DC Universe shows, including the major catalogs of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman at the time, will all be transferring to HBO Max by the end of the year. Titans also got renewed for a season 3 and season 4, going both to HBO Max.
There we go. And then Mrs. Marvel, I think it's also very important because everything going on. Also found its directors, which are from Bad Boys for Life, which are great directors. The action in that is phenomenal. So
listen, anything that's Marvel now, I'm all for. That game helps.
However, do not see my image of the thing that I did.
Hey, Jake, I know the release dates for Marvel.
Okay, but you can start.
Okay, so Disney, 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 unfortunately, doing the right thing in both of our opinions, doing the right thing, They have pushed the entire MCU slate way back, along with some other films, notable films including West Side Story, Death in the Nile, and there was one more. It was Death in the Nile.
I'll tell you. I pulled up the article.
But the big one, obviously, for everybody was Black Widow. From November 6th of 2020 all the way a full 6 months to May 6th, 2021. May 7th, thank you. But that one doesn't hurt me. I'm going to be honest. That one doesn't. Because we've seen stuff for Black Widow. We know what the movie's going to look like. I am more upset about the Eternals. I was excited to finally see something from that film in November or December, and it looks like that's not going to happen now. It got pushed almost a full year, almost, not there, but almost, to November of 2021, which then
I have actual full dates.
Jacob, take it away.
No. You can talk about the movies and your disappointments. I'll just tell you the dates that they move from, the dates that they go to.
And then Shang-Chi, Thor: Love and Thunder, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Falcon and Winter Soldier got pushed to 2021. We now know WandaVision comes out in November.
December.
No, November.
No, it was Disney Plus says December.
Disney Plus Canada says November.
Well, maybe they're getting it early. It's possible.
That'd be fucking stupid.
Well, it's possible. We got Disney Plus early. Don't. This is Canada.
No, but don't take away. No offense to Mandalorian. I'm excited, but WandaVision looks so much better.
The Mandalorian has to do its full run before they're going to even think about releasing WandaVision.
I'm more excited for WandaVision right now.
I know, but that puts WandaVision in December because Mandalorian will at least go until the end of November, if not the beginning.
But 8 episodes.
Of December. It starts October 28th.
30th.
Yeah. So you have to give it time because they don't have enough content to actually. I don't know why I'm paused. I surely am though. Sorry for you people, but you guys still hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna continue talking. Like this whole thing is just like frozen. I can't click on anything.
I'm just gonna do this. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Are you here?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but there is no picture.
I just have a frozen screen.
Oh. Huh.
Oh, my mouse moved. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Oh, don't we just? Oh, well, I was gone. Now we flipped. So hi, you over there. You over there.
Yeah, that happened.
There we go.
Oh, it doesn't like you over here.
Huh?
It doesn't like you over here. It doesn't like you over here.
I put myself back over where I was.
Oh.
Yeah. Either way, so this is what the Disney release schedule looks like. Black Widow has been moved from November 6th to May 7th, like Zachary had said. Eternals had moved from February 12th to November 5th, 2021. Shang-Chi has moved from May 7th to May 7th, 2021 to July 9th of 2021. West Side Story moved from December 18th, 2020, get this, to December 10th, 2021. So if you're looking for West Side Story, you got some time to wait. I tell you, some time. Oh my God, some time. Other movies that did stay planted, though, not shockingly, the next James Bond film, it's not moving. I don't think MGM can afford to move it. I think it's going to get released. No matter what the climate is outside, it doesn't matter. And of course, Soul, even though I really don't personally... What?
That theater will be closed and it'll still be open.
Oh, yeah. They're like, there's 3 theaters in America. We're opening it. Yep, right there. I still personally don't think Soul is a smart idea. I don't really know how comfortable I feel releasing a family film in theaters right now with the pandemic. And so
I can kind of attest to that today.
no, I know parents are willing to take their children. We'll talk about it. I just don't really know how smart of an idea it is, and so I personally would say put Soul on Disney Plus. It can still get nominated for the Oscar.
Under premium access.
You know, give it a shot. Why not? There you go.
But yeah. So Nick Fury's on Disney Plus. What a great transition there, buddy.
Oh, I didn't even realize I did. I meant I did. Also, Marvel will have 4 movies come out in 1 year.
That gives me a headache.
Not next year, because next year doesn't start. But the year after, we'll have one in February, one in May, one in February, March, May, and November.
What, 2022?
2022. Yep.
Wouldn't Spider-Man be December though?
December, that's what it is. February, May, November, December. It's something like that. Maybe it's October, December. Maybe that's what it is. It's something along those lines. It's crazy. I don't know. Part of me is like, is it ready? Do you think it's ready to go out? I think Black Widow's ready to go out. Play it out in February.
Black Widow's been ready.
I have a feeling, my personal opinion, is that Eternals is not ready.
No, I don't think so. Eternals is not ready.
And they don't believe it's going to be ready, and so they had to move Black Widow to a date where Eternals could have more time.
But here's the thing that aggravates me. Listen, to the Black Widow fans, including my brother, I get it. This film is important. I understand. But even Kevin Feige came out and said that this film is a non-consequential film because it takes place before the events of Endgame. Therefore, it is not messing up the timeline. No, I'm going off Feige. Feige is Lord and Savior. Therefore, what he says is true. If this film has nothing to do with post-Endgame timeline, then therefore, Black Widow could be released on Disney Plus, enjoy its time on streaming, and it would not have any consequential effects to the MCU at this point.
Is Jesus?
No. I'm saying when it comes to the MCU, what he says is true. He wouldn't lie.
So, Feige is Jesus.
He's MCU Jesus, yes.
Here's my thing. I do agree. I think if Black Widow was not a big deal,
I don't know why. I was like, I want to pick him up, so I did. Baby Yoda, what's your comments? Me, Yoda, think this shit sucks. Goodbye. Back to our daily.
Now, I promised you guys if I could cut out anything in the world, it would be bad. But I can't. I'm not going to. So, sorry, not sorry. I personally believe, I agree with a lot of people, Black Widow must be a bigger fucking deal than we think, or they wouldn't have pushed it. I also don't think they want to put an MCU film on streaming, which makes sense. Black Widow is a $200 million movie, you know? They paid a lot of money for this shit. They're going to want to see how well it does. And I do think May is probably the best bet when it would start making lots more money back, logically. And also, why not let her have her run in the theater? She deserved it. She earned it.
No,
let her have it.
But I don't get why their mentality is no MCU projects on Disney Plus. No. But they're still doing the MCU Plus TV series, which I can concur. They're above $100 million on a budget. It's really, you're cutting off like $150 million. There's no real difference. I saw the WandaVision trailer. The quality's still there.
I think personally, in this regard, it's the fact that WandaVision, Winter Soldier, the new Nick Fury, Miss Marvel, all these TV shows that are lined up, who actually a lot of them are moving really fast ahead. Who knows how many of these TV shows we're getting in the next few years? Maybe a lot. Who knows? I think Disney Plus heard our cries and it's like, don't you guys worry. Year 1 was a challenge. We understand. But year 2, that's where the big bucks comes in.
Really? Look at it already.
I'm hoping. Truly hoping. Either way, those are made for Disney Plus. Those are always going to go there. These movies were meant to be seen in the theater. They were meant to go into the theater. I mean, I saw Tenet, and if I've learned anything from this year, Christopher Nolan's like Tenet was made for the theater. It might be made for an IMAX theater. I saw as close as possible as I could get, and I still don't really can tell you that it was actually made for a theater. We saw Empire Strike Back, which we'll talk about, and that was much more made for a theater than Tenet was made. And that was made in the 70s, 80s.
Which says a lot coming from this guy.
It does. Trust me, you don't understand, but it does. Okay. All right.
Jay, one word. Let me. Yoda.
Stop it. All right. So we're going to move down to Spiderhead. I don't really have much to talk about here.
What is this?
Okay, so it's a Netflix original movie going to be directed by Joseph Krasinski. And
Joseph
the people were starring. Huh?
Joseph Krasinski. Who's Joseph Krasinski?
I got no clue.
Is it John Krasinski's long-lost brother?
No, it's actually Krasinski. It's an O. It's not an E.
Oh, I like Krasinski, like Crow, like, Cruella. I don't know.
But I'm talking about in this particular thing because of the cast. It's going to star Chris Hemsworth, Miles Teller, and Journey Smollett. And it's called Spiderhead. That's all the information we have for you.
Journey Smollett. Is that the guy who pretended to get...
No.
Okay.
This is a girl.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
She is from Lovecraft Country. She's also Black Canary and Birds of Prey.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I like her.
Yeah. You think she did good?
Yeah, she was one of my favorite parts of Birds of Prey. I loved her in Birds of Prey.
Yeah, we did a review. You're like, that's it. That's the good one. And honestly, truly,
it really is.
That was the good one. All right, let me see if I have anything for you.
Her and Huntress. Those were my two favorites of the film. Oh, and Ewan McGregor's Black Mask.
For parts of it. So it's an action, mystery, sci-fi. And that's the only thing they have for me.
Wow, action, mystery, sci-fi. That says a lot about your picture. So, let me ask you a question. You've seen Chris Hemsworth's Netflix original film Extraction, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You enjoyed it, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think Chris Hemsworth has found a home on Netflix?
Uh-huh.
I'm just curious. That's all.
I mean, I would too if they paid me the big bucks like they pay him.
Well, after his comments about Thor, he's not done with Thor yet.
No, and I think personally, once again, I think Thor is one of those weird it's like when we're talking about Ant-Man. If Ant-Man is as huge as Ant-Man could be, we might get more Ant-Man movies. I think if you know if you're getting a trilogy or if you're getting a sequel in the Marvel Universe, depends on how loved or your audience grows. Like Ant-Man makes closer to $1 billion with the third one, then yeah, I'd see them greenlighting a fourth one. The only reason why we're getting a fourth Thor is because the first two were moderately okay successes, and the third one I think it made $1 billion, or really close to $1 billion, if not to $1 billion. And so that's the reason why we're getting a fourth one, is because
I would also concur and say that Infinity War and Endgame both added the Thor's character to greenlit that fourth one.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know what I mean? The development and stuff was not done yet. Whereas Iron Man, we went down the whole storylines, that type of thing.
What aggravates me about his comments, though, it just makes me wonder, so how long is Jane around then? If this is the case. That aggravates me a little bit. I've been really looking forward to the whole Jane Foster aspect of Thor. And for her possibly just to be a one film kind of thing would kind of be aggravating, I'm not going to lie.
Jane Foster does have cancer, and her whole storyline is the fact that she dies. So
yes, but the whole reason she's around was the power of Thor. So what she do say, let me have the hammer for a full film. Okay, I'm ready to die. Here you go.
Well, I mean, they probably, the whole, Natalie Portman was like, I want a juicy role, and I want to be a superhero. They're like, cancer? Superhero? You might have to die. That's okay. I'm sure that's how it would. If I'm being honest with you.
Ticks me off just a little bit, not gonna lie.
I can understand it. And who knows, they might find a workaround. And maybe it will be, instead of 4, maybe it'll be 4 and, Jane. Who knows how they're going to...
Fun with Thor and Jane.
I do wonder how much Thor is going to be in Thor and Love and Thunder.
I think we'll see more of Thor and Guardians over Thor, Love and Thunder, to be honest.
When is Guardians? Who knows? Let's move on to She-Hulk, because honestly, this is truly the blessing.
This is the story of stories for this week. It really, well, besides the Empire review, which, by the way, get ready for that.
I want to start this one off, if that's okay.
That's completely fine.
So She-Hulk was casted. We had talked about it. We were like, Alison Brie, because she truly would have been a great She-Hulk. We had said Jennifer Gardner. If they were going for
an Alison Brie-esque person.
Yeah, that was really bad. Really bad. Jennifer Gardner, if they wanted an older She-Hulk, would have been phenomenal. Right? I know. But no, they went left field. They took a swerve. And honestly, truly, what? Tatiana Maslany got the role. Now, if you guys are not familiar with her work before, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go watch it right now. Go watch Orphan Black. It's on Amazon Prime if you have it. It's phenomenal. She plays 5 characters, not 1, 5 characters, plus a few additionals, no spoilers. And she, because it's a clone series, that's what it's about. And it's phenomenal. She won an Emmy. She won several Emmys. She's been trying to level up. This is it. This is her moment. And I'm so fucking excited. This is, like, I feel really bad for Alison Brie. Can we just talk about it real fast? Because it literally said on the casting list, Alison Brie light. Like, we don't want Alison Brie, but we want you to be like Alison Brie. That getting the email saying, oh, I'm sorry, you can't sign up for this because they want you, but they also, she wasn't down. It was between her and like 2 other people.
Yeah.
Other person being one of the ones who got it and stuff. But yeah.
You know, I've been really thinking about the whole Alison Brie situation when it comes to most of the projects she's working on now. I wonder if people aren't going to her because, unfortunately, of who she is married to.
Yeah, no, it has to be it, which is just so. I mean, when I don't really want to get into it.
No.
Even Dave Franco has said that their relationship with James is not exactly the strongest. But she is being demoted through association
with him, which sucks because even honestly,
was she nominated for an Emmy?
Yeah, no.
Is there a reason for that?
Probably. And what sucks more, honestly, it's for the both of them because I like Dave Franco a lot, and you know, no offense to his brother, I love James to death. I think James has done many fantastic. I love his movies, not him, his movies, and unfortunately, the last film David and James did together was The Disaster Artist, and you know, just shit went down with that. And unfortunately, Alison Brie's been taken down with it. And I guarantee you, if that was not the case, we'd be talking about someone else being cast in this role. But enough about the bad. Let's get back to the fantastical, because even Mark Ruffalo said, "Welcome home, cousin." And it melted my heart when he said that.
They do look a lot alike. If you start looking at pictures and stuff, you can kind of start to see it.
See it a little bit, yeah. So I am not the biggest She-Hulk fan, I'm going to be honest. I love Jennifer a lot. I think she's a great character. I'm just not that big of a fan. Her comics are not as good, to be honest.
Like her new one.
Is she supposed to be older or younger than Bruce?
So it depends on the run that they're going with. This run is a much more younger, not so supermodel type, which is what made She-Hulk. It's much more like the Hulk. She is a normal person. She works a normal job. She gets the thing. You know, I don't really remember exactly how she becomes a Hulk character. And then,
can I come in?
I don't want to spoil it. It's fine. It's okay.
But here's my big thing. Here's my big thing with this. They haven't outright come out and said, does she transform in the show, or is she just permanently She-Hulk? Because in the comics, Jennifer is just green. There's no.
No, Jennifer is not just green. Jennifer has 2 different, but normally is much more like Dr. Hulk.
Yeah. Where they're just one and the same.
It's one of the same. I have a feeling it's going to be more on the lines that she will transform into it. Also, for anybody who's nervous that this little tiny little person cannot do the action sequences, I can promise you she can because Orphan Black proved it. Phenomenal actress.
Yeah, so I'm very excited. Now, I think John Campea brought this up brilliantly when they talked about this. I'm excited for this. Don't get me wrong. I am super stoked about this She-Hulk casting. But with everything going on, we have no idea when this shoots.
See, here's the thing. They have writers now. They have directors. It could be the next one. We have no idea.
Great. That's great. I'm glad it's got writers. I'm glad it's got directors. But this comes back to my Peacemaker thing I talked about earlier. I am so happy that they're getting all these people for Ant-Man, for Hawkman, for She-Hulk. I get it. They need to get these casts together soon. Otherwise, projects are supposed to die when it happens. But with this pandemic going on, a lot can change from when She-Hulk has been cast to when She-Hulk starts production. I am just nervous that due to waiting too long to start production of something, Tatiana might see something else that's ready to be going on, and she unfortunately leaves the role. That's what I'm nervous about when it comes to all these casting announcements, that we're going to get these people, say they're going to be in the movie. This has happened before, of people leaving the project because of other things going on. I mean, Tom Holland, back and forth with Nathan and Peter Parker. It's something that people deal with all the time. I want to be excited for her, but I want to make sure that she is our She-Hulk and not have to worry about her being changed.
If I'm being honest with you, and this is just a really sad thing that happens in Hollywood, she does not get big projects. She deserves them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think she'll walk away. Also, lots of TV shows and stuff are shooting right now. Lots of TV shows are starting to shoot. And if not shooting at the moment, we'll be shooting by mid-October. And so if they do have plans to start shooting this, if it's beginning of 2021 or whatever, unless we do get the second surge, which is a rumor that's going around that we'll get the second surge with the virus and stuff, that would be the only reason why things would get postponed again. God, please help us. Please don't want that to happen.
Yeah, please don't.
But I just don't want it to happen. All right.
Unfortunately, now I am trying to be the biggest optimist and also the biggest pessimist at the same time. I want to be hopeful, like with this. I want to be hopeful, but I know things can change very quickly because this sounds so fucking cool. Because Secret Invasion, ladies and gentlemen, we could get Nick Fury on a giant fucking CGI ship going, I'm on the Hawaiian Sea. There's a Skrull. What's the show?
Are you asking? Because I genuinely don't know.
I'm just saying things out loud because I don't know what this show's going to be, but I'm fucking excited.
Yeah, and once again, this is one of those TV shows where, like, She-Hulk in general, we have no idea where that kind of fits in the timeline, like where she's supposed to go. We know where this is going, and that's not for still a while. Captain Marvel 2, which is supposed to be Secret Invasion, who knows? But that's what we can continue to guess in general. It's either going to be Secret Invasion or it's going to be A-Force. It's one or the other, and right now we're leaning more towards Secret Invasion than A-Force. Huh?
Those are those Skrulls.
Yes, exactly. And that's not coming out until I think it's 2023 now?
2024.
2022.
It's 2022?
2020. It's either 2022 or 2023. It's one or the other. I can't remember how it got moved with the whole release schedule thingy. Either way, and so this TV show probably wouldn't be debuting until somewhere around then is my
Again, this is my point. You're announcing things too soon.
It's just to get you excited. But okay, can we also just talk about real fast before we jump into this? You're announcing things too soon conversation that we're about to jump into because Jeremy, we've already had today, and we'll go through it again. Either way, I do want to mention when Marvel rains, it fucking pours.
Yeah, you aren't kidding.
We were in a drought. Oh, it was a bad drought for several months. And now it's like, you want content? You want content? You want content? Okay. Wow.
Content.
Kind of great.
I mean,
So yeah.
I mean, let's get excited. Nick Fury's coming, but they got Samuel L. Jackson to do a 6 to 8 episode series on Disney Plus. He was like, I'm tired of these motherfucking viruses keeping me doing motherfucking work. And Disney was like, really? And he's like, sure.
And also, I think it just shows once again is that when you get Disney Plus, which I absolutely love that being a saying, it's not you're not like going to Netflix.
No.
When you got Netflix, you are stuck. Disney Plus is like, oh, but guess what? You see that beautiful movie up there? Yeah, you cast in it too. I mean, you're gonna be in that. Don't worry. You're just here and you get there.
This is the other crazy thing is that now if you are a Marvel Cinematic Universe actor, actress, director, producer, writer, whatever, you have job security in any direction you want to go, whether it be film or television or somewhere in the middle.
Do you feel bad for the originals?
Oh, what, the original 6?
Mm-hmm.
No, not at all. Why? Because no offense to any characters getting their Disney Plus shows, the original 6, including Black Widow, deserved their on time with the screen. They do. Their stories are meant for the bigger screen. These smaller stories deserve their time, but just on a smaller platform. And therefore, the 6, much like with the Endgame credits, they got their love that they deserved. So therefore, their stories are done. Thor just doesn't work TV-wise. So therefore, that's why, as the only remaining Avenger, it makes sense for him to move to that.
So, you believe if you're...
What's the password for Voodoo?
Tell him I'll text it to him. I don't want to just say it over a podcast.
He will text it to him. Yes. You're welcome.
Gonna have to remind me to do that. Either way, so you're saying if you're a main Avenger, don't see yourself on small screen?
No, I'm saying that if you were a main Avenger in the original first phase, your story is done.
Okay, that's great. What makes the first phase of Avengers different from the second phase of Avengers? What makes these second phase Avengers not big enough stories to tell on the big screen, but okay to be downsized to a smaller screen?
So what I'm trying to explain, I'm glad you're bringing these questions up. When the Marvel Universe started, there was no real ideals for these characters, especially Iron Man, Black Widow, Hulk, Thor, Captain America, respectively, for small screen. They were not meant for television. Their stories are meant for the giant screen. To me, the first real character that came in that I could see with TV show aspect was Ant-Man. I really felt as though Ant-Man's story was small enough that we could see it broken up into a 6-part series. And that's why I loved Ant-Man so much, was because of the fact that we got that kind of era with Marvel. And that's why I think Phase 2, most of their films, honestly, I could have seen as Disney Plus series. I really could have. Captain America Winter Soldier would have been a great 10-part miniseries on Disney Plus, with the reveal of Bucky, with the reveal of the Hydra stuff being a cliffhanger for the show, leading into Age of Ultron being a film. I'm like, there was really cool aspects. Thor: The Dark World, adding in a bunch of stuff for the Infinity Saga, leading back into the films of there. They did a lot of really, really interesting stuff when it came to Phase 2. It felt serialized like it now does, so therefore it felt like an episode of a show. And, could have broke that episode down into parts. Whereas the original first phase were origin films. That was
I'm not talking about like the original movies. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how these characters, and it could be a side character. It doesn't even have to be like, I don't know. Everybody always talked about how the other Iron Man, not Iron Man, but his best friend, Don Cheadle's character, War Machine, never truly got to shine in the movies because he was always sidelined. Like, do you feel bad for these characters because they never got a Disney Plus TV show because it was never around?
No, because I will say what I've said about Black Widow since the beginning. What I think the MCU has done so well is that it has its main tagline people. They know what to do with them. But what I think Marvel does absolutely brilliantly is they put amazing characters around them as well, to where you don't feel as though they have to have a film to move forward. And that's why, Wanda works so well. That's why Vision works so well. Falcon, Bucky, they all work so well because they were interwoven so well with these characters. Therefore, I didn't have that urge to do that, to see like, oh, now I need to see a Falcon and Winter Soldier film, or I need to see Wanda and Vision together by themselves on the big screen. Their stories, they're earned now because we've been with these characters for so long, but I want to see them more fleshed out because we haven't had that time with them. Now they get that moment to shine on TV, so that when we come back to them in film, they are a more brighter character, because then they are these standalone characters we see on film now. They are Captain America. They are, the quote unquote Iron Man, or the Captain America, or the Thor of the Avengers now. They're the main people we see on screen. And, they're kind of giving them their origins in a way within these Disney Plus series. So when we see them in the films again, we've kind of grown up with them on shows to get them to get their bigger moments on film. That's what I think they've done. They kind of reverse generationalized their MCU to where we've got their bigger moments with the main six on the big screen. We get their smaller moments on TV. We get their bigger moments again on film. They're kind of breaking it up that way. And I think they're smart in the way of doing Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, these characters, because honestly, I don't think a She-Hulk film, Moon Knight movie, or Miss Marvel film would do well. I don't think they would. Particularly Moon Knight. I don't think Moon Knight would do anything box office wise. So I think it's smart to introduce these characters through television, let them bring in MCU characters, like with Miss Marvel, bring in Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, get them to know the characters really well. So that way when they show up in the MCU and the films based part of that, they're like, okay, we know these guys. We spent six or so hours with them. We know who they are. We know how they act. We know how they feel. What's going on with them mentally. So that when we go into the MCU, we're like, okay, now we see them on a bigger picture, like how they deal with this kind of stuff.
So I don't know exactly if you answered my question, but I'll take it.
Thank you.
Because I don't think you're going to, and so that's fine. That's okay. Let's move on to the most interesting title I have for you, and that is Thomas Iron in Doctor.
So I brought this up to Jacob. As we know,
Which I already know, but I just
I swear, Flash and Doctor Strange, it's like reading about the same film. It's nuts. So we now know in Flash, we're going to see multiple versions of multiple superheroes from different eras for the Flash. There is now I'm saying this as a rumor. It is a rumor. It's not confirmed or anything. There is a rumor going on right now that they are planning on bringing in Tom Cruise as an alternate reality version of Tony Stark for Iron Man. Because as we know, this is called the Multiverse of Madness. And so we're going to be going through multiple dimensions. I've also heard rumors of different people coming in to play Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and Black Widow, including a de-aged Michael Fox to play a younger Peter Parker in a different version for Spider-Man, which I think this is all coming back about 3 years ago when Civil War, not 3 years ago, when Civil War was coming out in 2016. Everybody was making these, 80s retro style posters of all these actors who in the 80s would have been the MCU. I feel like they're going off of that because everybody was like, Tom Cruise would have been Iron Man. Been the easiest casting in the world because he just fits it. And so I think it'd be really dope to see Tom Cruise in an Iron Man suit from the 80s. Just see what that would look like. I think it'd be really, really cool. And they actually cast Eddie Murphy as the Black Panther in those pictures, which an 80s version of Black Panther being Eddie Murphy would be really cool. I think Chadwick would find that very, humbling, seeing that one of the greatest comedians of all time is now playing his character in the MCU in an alternate timeline. I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, this all sounded really, really awesome. And freaking Tom Cruise's Iron Man. Never thought I'd say that. But that's the rumor going on right now. I mean, look at that. Doesn't Tom Cruise just scream? Tony? And, I mean, yeah, look at that. John Krasinski as Captain America. What an Avengers film that would have been, wouldn't it?
It would have definitely been different. Once again, this is a rumor, and so we'll have to wait and see how Doctor Strange. I feel like Doctor Strange 2 would be a very kept secret type of movie.
Yeah.
Like Civil War and stuff, like Avengers Infinity War. And so we won't even know if we'll be able to report if this is true until we actually see the movie. It could be like Deadpool 2, whereas you miss it or you blink, Brad Pitt's in it. I'm not going to tell you where, but he is in the movie.
Well, let me ask you a question. Looking at both Flash now and Doctor Strange, do you think they're too similar?
Well, one could also have said that about Batman vs. Superman Civil War. Now, the movies themselves are what makes it different. The concept is the same. This is the same thing. I have a feeling the movies themselves are going to be completely different, but the concept is the same. So, yeah.
I just find it odd.
Do I think it's a really stupid idea that they're releasing them the same year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, they also did that with Civil War, Batman vs. Superman, and we obviously saw the winner. Yeah, so I'm sure who's going to win this one.
What if it's reversed?
I know, it'd be really shocking. That must mean Doctor Strange isn't good. I mean, that's the only true reason.
But it can't be.
Because I'm sorry, there's just not a version of me that's like excited for the Flash. Mm-hmm. Where I'm excited for this. This could be fun. It could be campy, but it could also be really fun. And that's what makes it fun.
For God's sakes, they got Sam Raimi to direct this piece. If it's not good, we're in Spider-Man 3 level territory here, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want that.
So, before we move over here, I do want to mention this is the ending of our podcast. We have 3 different things to talk about. Boys Season 2, Episode 5 and 6. The movie commentaries and what we have been watching. And what we have been watching, we'll cover Empire Strikes Back, since we have been watching that. And I do want to mention, if this is where you guys are going to click out or whatever, I hope you guys had a great day and things. I do recommend you guys sticking around for movie commentary so you guys can figure out what we're watching in October, get that type of vibe.
And how we're finishing September.
Yeah, how we're finishing to September, technically on Monday possibly, how you get that kind of vibe. So, yeah, we'll see. All right. So, let's jump into The Boys. Oh, The Boys, you interesting little clusterfuck. How I love you, but I also fucking hate you. So.
Okay. So do you want 5 or 6?
Well, we should go in order, so we'll go with 5.
No, like, do you want to start talking about? No, do you want to start the conversation on 5 or 6?
Yeah, let's go in order. Let's start with 5.
Which episode did you prefer of the two? Which one do you want to start the conversation on first? Like, do you want to start talking about 6 when we start talking about 6, or do you want to start talking about 5 when we start talking about 5?
How about this? How about we just start with episode 5? Because chronologically, it goes 5 and 6.
You're not getting what I'm saying at
all.
I
have no idea what you're talking about right now.
When we start this conversation, do you want to start the conversation when we start this with 5, or you want me to do it first and you start the conversation when we talk about 6?
Wait, you're talking about who's going to be... Oh, you can start the conversation with 5. I'll start the conversation with 6. I'm sorry. Took me 10 minutes, but I got there.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day. So episode 5 is I loved 6, but episode 5 is my favorite episode of the season so far. I think some of the more batshit crazy moments happen in 5. And we learn a lot more about Stormfront and her angle in this show. And I will say it right now, Aya Cash is my favorite character of the season. Between her and Anthony Starr as Homelander, they are both absolutely fucking killing it. And what I love about Stormfront so much about in this episode is the scene between her and Starlight in her trailer. When after Starlight tries to hide while she's in the trailer, and she gives a whole fucking speech about her mother and how she wants Stormfront out of it. And when Stormfront goes, wow, that was a performance. And like, you know exactly, she doesn't give 2 shits what you're saying. She knows exactly what you're doing, you fucking idiot, because you guys aren't smart in certain things. And but I love the fact that her and Homelander are just one step ahead of each other every single time. Like, Homelander's in front of Stormfront, and Stormfront's in front of Homelander. It's just back and forth. And it ends in arguably one of the best sex scenes on TV since Spike fucked an invisible Buffy. or their scene in the destroying room.
Okay.
It was a great episode, and the stuff with Black Noir, learning more about Butcher's brother, which I am now speculating that Black Noir is Butcher's brother. He got hurt really bad. He can't talk because he can't talk about what happened between him and Butcher, and that's why he's constantly on the run for Butcher. Is that's his brother? That's who I think it is. That end conversation with him and Black Noir without him saying anything was dope. I loved his aunt. I thought she was funny. This is where I make my drugs. I thought that was really funny. And then the entire thing between Huey and Butcher before they go down, their conversation of how Butcher really cares about Huey and all that. I thought episode 5 was just awesome through and through. I cared about every storyline. I thought the entire A-Train got some really meaty stuff in this one. Again, I give 2 shits about the Deep and his Church of Collective. They can go suck a right shark's nut for all I care. I don't care about it at all.
Here's the thing. I have a strong feeling the Church of Collective, they're doing the same thing True Blood did. True Blood put hints of the Church that would end up being the big villain going later on. I have a strong feeling Church of Collective will be a much bigger role in season 3. I think they're planting seeds and stuff right now. So if you really hate Zachary, you might as well just start sitting out because, like, I don't think it's going anywhere.
No, I know it's not going anywhere. I just wish it was more interesting.
I mean, I find it kind of interesting. I'm curious. There's just not enough there yet. We just need one more back history, I think, is the thing.
Yeah.
So what didn't do it? You know, what was episode 5's problem for me? I thought it was great. I had a great time. I mean, I've never not had a great time with the boys. I mean, episode 4, I think, was slow, but I'd never had a bad time. So what about episode 5 irked me to, like, no end? Uh-huh. And that is the fact, I don't know. Maybe it's because I just love Homelander so much and I don't want anything bad to happen to him, even though kill him hardcore. But also don't. But also do it, you know? I don't really know which side of the path I'm on. I don't really like him hooking up with a neo-Nazi. I think that's what did it. You know, if I'm being honest with you, I get it. You know, he looked to her as this new, like,
Stillwell.
Thank you. You know, I get it. I understand. They have great chemistry in their defense. Like, they bouncing off the walls, in the walls, on the walls, above the walls. They bounce everywhere. You know. Also, the sex scene itself, which was more graphic than any of the sex scenes in the previous episode, it still didn't hit that mark yet.
When she pushed his face into the no-no region, that was a little bit intense.
No, see, it never really hit the mark. It's not been there yet, which is a little disappointing. I'm waiting for that moment, and maybe it's coming. Who knows?
I think 6 had the moment.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we're there yet. Either way, with episode 5 in general, I really liked being on the set of Dawn of the Seven. I thought that was hilarious. I loved all that moment. I thought that was great. The stuff they're doing with A-Train, I also found to be very fascinating. I do love Starlight as a character, and so her storylines and how they're weaving them, the conversation with, you know, her finding out that Stormfront does know that she gave it up, but also the fact that Stormfront was like, oh yeah, we're just having a girl conversation. Like, she has ulterior motives, and she's curious to see what those ulterior motives are. I find that all to be extremely fascinating. The fact that we get our first look at Lamplighter in this episode without us knowing that's who the character will soon to become. Yeah. I did, because I knew who he was casted as, but like Mom and Tim don't know.
Seeing him nonetheless, though, in that episode 5, getting ready for 6, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, it was a nice little tease to what was coming down the line. But once again, I really just don't. I talked about it when the trailer dropped, you know, when we were covering it and stuff. I just don't like the idea of Homelander and Stormfront getting
a power
couple, just because I think Homelander is a child, you know?
I think that's what I like about it so much, is that she really is a superpowered version of Stillwell, and that's all it took.
Very predatorial. I mean, they're the same age. I mean, not really. But
no, they're not.
But in my head, Homelander is just a child. you know, and I don't feel comfortable with it. I'm just not really comfortable with it. But I do want to say all the Maeve stuff of them, you know, her working and saying, I'm going to kill this bastard, all that stuff I found to be very fascinating. I'm very excited to see where that goes. The all turning on Homelander things in Stormfront and it being.
That scene, which I thought was not a fantasy, when he lasers that crowd, I'm like, they finally did it. He broke the camel's back. He's gone nuts. And he has that quiet moment by himself where they just cut to him constantly going laughing, crying, sad. Hey, look, funny picture. And I'm like, he's so good at doing
That's
it.
what I mean. I just don't want. I have a feeling if they take him down this road, he might become too unredeemable to the point where I'm just not going to like him anymore. It hasn't happened yet. I know.
Too unredeemable. Jacob.
I know.
Jacob. How does episode 6 start, bud? What's he do to the poor guy at the beginning of episode 6, bud?
Yeah, fine.
That was an intense scene. That was the most intense jerk-off scene I've ever seen.
You know, with episode 6, so we'll start episode 5. Like, once again, would you rate it?
So far of the season, this probably be my favorite. On a rating scale, I give it a 9.25. I absolutely loved it. There are certain things I didn't like about it as much. Also, I mean, obviously the collective thing I didn't like. I like what they're doing with Maeve in the Deep right now. However, I don't want this to be a trope with the show when it comes to Maeve and her girlfriend of being like, let's get away from Homelander. Now I don't like you. Let's get away from Homelander. Now I don't like you. I don't want that to be a constant thing between the two of them. I kind of hope that her girlfriend just realizes she's doing what she needs to do for them to survive and they move on. Because I don't want this just to be a constant going thing. Just move on from it. It's kind of aggravating. And I felt uncomfortable when I did the whole pride thing when they were sitting there together about the posters. That made me uncomfortable. And I don't think they're handling this very well, to be honest. Coming from a non-LGBTQ person, seeing it from their perspective, I don't think they're handling the entire situation very well.
I don't think see. Here's the problem, and here it is. Truly, we're sitting here having a conversation about this, and in the long run, unless it becomes a huge fucking deal in these last 2 episodes,
which it
we
won't.
probably wouldn't be having this conversation if it wasn't weekly.
I agree.
I think this is one of those things that was they put too many things to handle a chew.
Yeah.
Outing somebody is a big fucking deal, and yet Maeve is not a big fucking character. She's doing big fucking moves, but she's not as big as she should be. And I just don't. I'm really hoping it's more fleshed out, but I'm also really nervous that they're gonna kill them, and then it's kill off your gaze.
Oh, Jacob, I can guarantee you either Maeve or the girlfriend's going to die by Stormfront. I can guarantee you.
I really hope it's not the case.
Well, after Stormfront's barrage at the end of episode 6, we know where she stands. She does not care what they are. She just wants them gone. And if Maeve's in her way...
I'm saying in a general sense of a way.
No, I get it.
A lot of people, I have a strong feeling, a lot of people in the LGBTQ area was really mad because it's kill off your gaze. It's a trope. The trope that should be dead. It's not dead. And I don't want to say, I think people are going to be like, they're letting them off because it's like a story purpose. Well, yeah, you could say that about a lot of characters as well, but ultimately it goes down to the fact that there is only 2 gay characters so far in this TV show. There's been others that have been mentioned or whatever, like the priest in the last season, which I thought that whole storyline was handled so much better than this whole storyline. I like the fact that there is a storyline here that does have to deal with the LGBT. I just wish it was handled better. I agree. And not so sloppily.
Much like Vought, it's handled not well.
Yeah, it's Vought. Okay, episode 6, which is The Bloody Doors Off, by the way. That's the title. It's The Bloody Doors Off. And this episode was one of those episodes that when you start it and you end it, you feel 2 different ways. When you start it opens with this graphic sex scene between Homelander and Stormfront where she's rubbing his couch and he explodes. Several different things. And then they have sex again on the wall and smear each other with blood. I don't really know how to handle that, Then also we have this underlining story with Frenchie,
I loved the stuff with Frenchie in
which
this episode.
I really liked, but also I'm just like, I get it, but I don't know if it was how necessary it was.
To me personally, I think the Frenchie storyline, if it wasn't there, this episode's heart would have not been there. I think the stuff between him and Lamplighter would have not worked if we didn't know what was going on. And then the thing at the end with Mom, when she points the gun at Lamplighter and Frenchie's the one asking for his life, I think would have had no meaning if we had not seen the backstory stuff with him and Lamplighter prior to that. I really don't.
I don't know if I personally agree with that, but that's okay. That's two different, opinions and stuff. I just don't know. Lamplighter himself is Sean Ashmore. I mean, I don't really have much to talk about here because it is Sean Ashmore. He didn't really do anything special. I was really hoping for something to blow me away. I also was not that impressed with his powers. Now, in his defense, his true defense, he was in an episode with a lot of different powers.
Yes.
One of those being a stretching dick. And those things just tend to take the cake. Exploding people
pops through the window. I'm like, that's the weirdest looking thing.
Did you not see it on the camera?
Huh?
Did you not see it on camera?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my god! It's on the surveillance camera. It's pulling back a doctor.
My first reveal of the dick was when it wrapped around MM's throat. And they sit there and go, "Is that what I think it was?" Yeah, that was it.
No, and that's why I just love how Frenchie's like, "Oh, grow up, eat with the times," or something like that. Also, very interesting. We do kind of get a confirmation here that Frenchie could have been in a throuple with a man and a woman
at one
point in his life, which they've never shied away from the fact that Frenchie is open to everything.
Yeah.
From comments of having, how do you feel about transgender strippers? Oh, I don't want nuts in any places, or something like that.
That was really funny.
Also really good. The lines here are really good. I also really like the fact that Huey got hurt.
That I can't. But what I love what the hurting of Huey did, it brought Starlight and Butcher closer together.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to mention that, but you saw it out of my mouth. But yeah, true. I do agree. I liked how it brought them together. It also tore them apart a little bit because you start to realize that the people that Huey has surrounded himself with, Starlight and Butcher, they're one and the same. They have different motives, but because of everything they've been through, Starlight has lost that hero ability. She's slowly not becoming a true hero anymore. Matters who she's willing to save. It's that whole line, are you going to save this one person you care about or a million people who could die? And most people choose that one person they care about over the million because what's the point of saving a million when you can't be with the person, that you truly want to be with?
Right.
Type of thing. Sure, there could be somebody over there you might love because it's a million people, but and so I think that's being really explored kind of nicely. I also really liked when Stormlight got cut into in the beginning of the episode. It was shocking, but also really, really cool in things. I also just really love the facility that they were a part of.
That was really cool.
Learning about what Vought's doing and the experimentations and stuff and how these people are being tortured basically as lab rats and stuff. All very fascinating. Stormfront, also fascinating with learning more about her back history, knowing that she's from 1919, a lot earlier than what we thought in our defense.
So
knowing that she was a founder of Bot, that she is like one of the top heads because of that, also very fascinating.
So this makes me wonder something though. She is in close contact with Stan. Because we know that from the emails from 5. Do you think, without knowing it, Stan is a soup in a way, and he's been around as long as she has? And their plan this entire time was to get rid of Stillwell in a way with Homelander? To gain back control of Vought?
I personally think that... Yeah, I think it might have been. But then again, you have to think Stonewall was making her way up the chain. Eventually, she would have found out about Stormfront. and those things. She was moving up to like be next door to Stan. And so I think what it is that Stan understood the relationship between Homelander and Stonewall. That relationship is gone. Homelander kind of went off the rails. And he's like, okay, you go in, you be this new person for him, and we can keep him under control, and we can use him to our best abilities.
What this became for me in this episode between Stormfront and Homelander, and I hate saying this because it just sounds wrong coming out of my mouth, is more of a mother-son thing now than originally thought, because of how she kept talking like, you were the creation we were waiting for. You were the one that was perfect, and I love you with all my heart. She sounded more like a mother than what we were all thinking it was going to be.
And that's why when I said it feels more predatorial than it does,
right,
like relationship-wise, it just makes me really uncomfortable.
I didn't feel that way in 5. I felt that way in 6. I feel what you're feeling now when it comes to episode 6 because of the way she was acting. However, what's her end game? Besides the supers, there's something else with her, and particularly Starlight. She has something to do with Starlight. There's something else going on.
It's all around Compound B. It has to be all around Compound B.
So
She's probably the person who was like, okay, let's go test these on, let's go test these on adults. We know they're fine with babies. That's all great and dandy. Let's go test these on adults. How do they react? That type of thing. Hold on.
How do you think by the way, I love this about the show so much. Homelander is such against the lying. He hates it so much, yet he is hiding the biggest lie now from his creator, and that is his son. How do you think Stormfront's going to react when she finds out about his kid?
I think she knows.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think she would kill it because it's not controllable at that young of an age?
No.
That'd be a shocker, though.
No, I don't think so. Butcher, Baker, Candlestick Maker. That's what the next episode's called for anybody who was curious. I don't know. Overall, I'm really enjoying The Boys. I don't know. I think The Boys is not as fun when you start to theorize it, because then you start to see cracks in its formula, which is why I don't believe this is a weekly. When you see cracks, it's not meant for weekly.
I don't think it'll be weekly next year.
When you binge. Huh?
I don't think it'll be weekly next year. I think they're going to learn from their mistake this year. I don't think it's going to be weekly next year.
And having seen all these episodes as they come out weekly, I still can contest to the fact that the big issues are not big enough to say what's warrant a conversation every week, and it does not trend. So all these plans that they had for this to be this huge thing, it ended up backfiring because people couldn't just jump in and binge watch it. And so a lot of people are waiting until October 9th and binge watching the whole season when it's all there to watch.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately this was a flop in that regard. All right, moving on downward to movie commentaries, and we'll move into what we have been watching. Movie commentaries, we have one more for September. Zachary gets to choose it. So this is his time to choose it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am pushing this off one more time because I feel as though the other film is more important still over the other one. We will be finishing September with Black Panther. I am giving you more time. Watchmen's you. I'm ready. We're waiting on you.
No, you could have said Watchmen. I'd be like, okay.
But I think Black Panther is still, including that gorgeous memorial presented in Disneyland this past weekend, I think Black Panther is still more important now than ever to do a commentary for. I'm getting emotional just thinking about watching this film. I am not ready, but we will do it.
Alrighty. Well, Zachary, that means you have between the 28th and the 30th. What day works best for you?
28th and the 30th?
Between the 28th, 29th, and the 30th.
Okay. Let me look here. Well, I won't know till the schedule comes out, so I'll let you know then. I can do it sometime this week. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
October.
We're
Whoops.
talking about September.
Let's do it Monday. I get off at noon.
Okay, it would still be probably around 7, so don't expect this whole noon thing to be like at 2.
No. I'm taking a nap when I get home. We'll watch it at 7.
It'll still probably be at 7, but now you guys have something to look forward to. The 28th, tomorrow, when you see this podcast. The day after, we'll be doing a Black Panther movie. All right, and now in October itself, we have a few important dates to cover. All right, that is the 1-year anniversary of what movie, Zachary?
The beautiful film that is Joker.
And then, so Zachary wanted to watch Joker. I'm forcing him to watch an extreme horror film.
Crap.
Don't really know what that is yet. I'll let you know.
I'm guaranteeing it has something to do with a fucking clown.
I'm also very tempted to make him watch it, Chapter 2. Yes, that is very true. But I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to go which extreme.
Listen, let's get the viewer's opinion and see what they say. Do you guys want to watch a commentary where it's just this the entire time? Because that's what it's going to be.
It's going to be really fun, I promise. And then he also wants to watch the remake of Halloween, and so we're also going to be watching the remake of Halloween towards the end of the month. So we're going to start the month with Joker, middle of the month.
Starting with clowns, in the middle with clowns, and ending with the guy in the mask.
Middle of the month, it might not be clowns. I'm not really sure. Okay, there's a few movies that truly I think you would enjoy if you would just open your mind to it. And maybe I'm going to show you a movie that's going to be your new favorite. Maybe it's going to be like Ready or Not. Who knows, Zachary? Don't judge me just yet. Am I going to choose one that's going to scare you? But of course, because that's just what I like. But is it going to be one that you might be scared but enjoying? Yes, that's the goal.
That's the prayer.
I think It Chapter 2 is scary. No, I don't believe It Chapter 2 is scary at all. Truly, I think It Chapter 2 is one of the most scary, unscariest horror films I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
Turtle.
Fuck that. Stupid motherfucker. And actually, It Chapter 2 is a year old. So, all right, let's move over to what we've been watching.
I don't care what we've been watching. I really don't, because something else happened today, and in my opinion, above all else, this takes the motherfucking cake. Because, ladies and gentlemen, for the past, I don't know, how old am I? 24? 22 years. I'm going to say that. I'm going to give myself a year. 22 years, I've been trying to get this boy over here to watch these old films. I don't think you've heard of them. They're called Star Wars. But he's like, no, I don't want to watch them. They're too old. They're probably too boring. They don't look as good. Hey, Jacob, what did we see today that you absolutely loved?
I absolutely love. Don't put words in my mouth. We saw Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, but I do want to mention before we start this review, which we are going to be talking about in spoilery detail because it came out in 1980. Grow the fuck up. I want to mention the fact that I originally tried to watch A New Hope and was bored. So I really do believe the theater is the way to go. So, with that being said, did I like this movie? Yes. Did I like it because I didn't remember any single word from it except Luke, I am your father, which I didn't even know was in this film. Yes. Did I enjoy it because I was truly shocked, mouth dropped to the ground, shocked? Why, yes. Did I remember that Luke got his hand cut off in the ending battle? Nope, sure did not. Did I remember that he dropped down and survived? Nope, sure did not. Did I remember that Lando betrayed? I still can't get over it. Betrayed Han Solo? Nope, sure cannot. Didn't trust him, but I thought he was better. Did I remember that that Yoda is high the whole time? Nope, sure did not. I remember him being so much more wiser. Is that just not a thing? Like, I mean, that little thing's gonna grow up to smoke so much pot that his whole brain's gonna melt.
As he says, 800 years you are, will you not look this good?
Also, that thing's 50.
50,
That's
ladies and
50.
gentlemen.
Either way, what else?
And
What other
can't
moments?
talk yet.
What other moments were your favorites from Jacob? What were your moments from Jacob's reaction? He also enjoyed it.
So my favorite moment is, without a doubt, it's got to be the betrayal scene. Because we're watching this going on, and you're like, What's happening? He kept looking over like, what's happening? What's happening? Just walking around. And he was so like, what's no. It's not that. It's when Yoda goes, there is another. I have never heard someone who has seen the rest of them up to this point go, who's the other? I was genuinely shocked when you said that. Like, I looked at you and went, you know who it is, and just continue watching the film. You're like, no, I don't. Like, Jacob.
I want to mention that I truly now when they kissed in the beginning of the movie, I straight up said, "Oh my God, that's your sister."
No, that did.
Or someone did. I don't know. I knew it. I knew it. I was grossed. So much incest. Oh my God. Do you know how much incest I watched tonight? So much. It's ridiculous. It needs to be out of context. Either way, moving forward from incest. Star Wars, I tell you, brings out all the conversations. Okay. We left the theater and Zachary's telling my dad about, he looked at me and said, who's the other? And I literally looked at him again and I was like, yes, who is the other? And he was like, Leia. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
He wasn't saying Rey. That wasn't the thing.
Well, you know what? It was a good idea, though.
My other favorite moment is when Yoda first popped up, because you were looking at me going, it's him. And yeah, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that's Yoda. Not a CGI model jumping around. That's Yoda. A puppet with an attitude. When R2-D2 takes his light, he goes, no, mine. And I'm like, you're adorable. You're an 8-year.
I was shocked. When he started beating it, I was like, what is going on? I don't remember this Yoda being this. And I still don't remember this Yoda being that. But it happened. Oh, it happened. And I'm just like really shocked. I also want to mention that as amazing as the graphics are and the CGI is for the time, not every single thing held up. You know? I do love the opening with the thing that runs, you know, the little animal in the ice and it dies. That was pretty freaking hysterical. Oh my God, the creature that attacks.
Oh, the Wampa? So the Wampa?
Huh?
The Wampa?
Sure. I guess so. I was shocked. It cut off its, like, Luke cut off. I was having the whole time. Okay?
When dismemberment happened in this film, it reminded me of when we watched Batman vs. TMNT. Violence!
Murder. Anyway, so, like, that thing was fucking scary. Like, that would have gave me nightmares. And to be honest with you, there's moments with Yoda which would have gave me nightmares as well.
You will be.
I don't know. This was one of those films that I truly thought in my heart that I hated. You know, I remember the acting being shitty, which it was not. I remember the directing not being that great. To honestly, had a great time. I remember not having I just remember not having a good time. I had the best time. Now,
by the way, halfway through the film, all three of us, in order, my dad, my brother, and me, were all nodding our heads to the Imperial March. That's how I knew my brother was having a good time.
Also, want to mention the fact that this is not as good as Jurassic Park.
That's fair.
I did enjoy Jurassic Park more. Both movies I thought I didn't like. Both movies I walked into and was shell-shocked. Also saw The Breakfast Club in theaters because I'm just going and seeing classics at the moment, I guess. And The Breakfast Club is 1/3 good, 2/3 not good. But also, I can't stop thinking about it. It's like a disease. It's in there, and I just keep thinking about everything. And like 96% of the movie's ad-libbed.
Which is awesome.
Which is just shocking. I don't know. Overall, what else? Zachary, I talked about my theater experiences. This is one of your favorite movies of all time. How is your experience?
Jacob, when the 20th Century Fox logo showed up, I knew I was home. And I just, To be honest, I love the experience. It honestly and truly is the fact that I got to share this with you and Dad. It is one of my favorite experiences I've ever had. But it really wasn't the fact that I got to see the film. It was finally seeing you see Star Wars for what it really is, and you loving it as much as you did. But not loving. Loving is a strong word. How much you liked it. It made me feel like, man, it was well worth the wait to see you like Star Wars, like I do, seeing it in a theater. It was really, really, really. I know you like Star Wars, but the original trilogy specifically, you have not wanted to watch any of these movies with me for the longest time, no matter how many times I've begged you and told you, specifically with this one, of how strong and good this movie is. But the fact that it took to us to see it in the theater together makes it all more worth it to me. Because now I can look at you and go, remember that scene with Yoda and Empire? You and I can both laugh about that and go, yeah, when he beat R2 with a stick. Yeah, that moment. Or when you go, what the fuck, Lando? Now I get when you say it. It's just, or when he goes, man, I want to choke you like Vera choked out those animals. Left and right. You saw Breakfast Club in theaters. However, I watched a theater-worthy film at home. I watched Enola Holmes, and without spoiling anything, because my brother hasn't watched it yet, I love this film. Thoroughly through and through. It is arguably, in my opinion, the best Netflix original film they've ever done. I think it is now the standard going forward for Netflix film. I really, really do. They did an impeccable job with this film, and do not be Dark Crystal and cancel it before it gets a sequel. That is all.
You look it up tomorrow. I
know
know home
too. Not
failure. It did really so poor that it laughed at itself.
That's all I really watched. Yeah, it was really Empire and Enola for the week. But it was a good week.
Watched Ratchet,
which was thing.
Which was fun. You know, it was fun. I don't know. I was hoping it to be a little more sophisticated than it was. It was a lot more campy, but also like it was the bad type of campy because it was trying to take itself seriously when it was really campy. You know,
how was the set design good?
Like oh my god, it was beautiful. It was everything, but also it was like too beautiful. You know,
too much.
It was too much. If you're trying to compare it to the original, it was too much. Yeah.
That was my question I wanted to ask you. Is that so? I've seen the one on the Floor of Cuckoo's Nest, one of the greatest films of all time. Does the character that she portray fit at all with who? I forget who plays Nurse Ratched in One of the Floors of the Cuckoo's Nest, but at all? No.
No, it is about, they have come out and they have said the reason why they didn't ask her or have any questions for her is that they want their own portrayal of Nurse Ratched and that type of thing to make it their own. But I think with a little bit of similarities, it would have been better. Sarah Paulson, though, phenomenal. She was given a lot to do, and she did everything. And even though I do have to say, I would say certain scenes possibly went a little too far.
Of the two Ryan Murphy Netflix originals, which one do you prefer?
There's 3.
Oh, of the 3.
Politician. It was the fastest I watched them. Like Hollywood, I watched the first 6 episodes, and then it took me a very long time to come back to finish it. I enjoyed it once I did. Ratchet, it took me a weekend to watch the whole thing. And Politician, every time I'd watch a season of it, even though I didn't watch Politician season 2 until I'd say a month after it came out, I watched it all episodes in one night, nonstop. It got canceled. I think it got canceled. I hope not. So.
Well, don't get hopeful. Netflix likes to cancel all.
Ratchet got renewed for season 2 already. So.
What did?
Ratchet.
Shocked to no one.
But Ryan Murphy, speaking of Ryan Murphy, has another movie coming out on Wednesday called The Boys in the Band. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh,
So,
and there was also a secret release through Netflix's YouTube this past weekend. The Father of the Bride Part 3-ish happened. And I've actually heard from many people it's quite fun.
oh, I watch The Devil all the time. I don't know if I talked about it in the last podcast or not.
I think you did, but just
I
refresh.
don't know. I thought it was a great adaptation, you know. But here's my thing. Truly was, I don't know. And I think Zachary's getting me kind of tired of me saying that it was just not as graphic as I was hoping. But Zachary didn't read the book, so he just doesn't understand the extent that I had to put myself through for so long. The book's like 13 hours long. And so yeah. So that was disappointing. The movie itself was very good. The performances, oh my god, it's worth it if you just go look up Robert Pattinson.
I've heard.
That's it. That's all you need. He didn't take a vocal coach, and you definitely can tell. And it was something to behold. Oh, my voice almost sounded like it was something to behold. Yes, it was. Yeah, it's interesting.
Delusions.
No, don't go off the trailer, Zachary. I mean, you need to look up a scene if you're not going to watch the movie. Would I recommend the film?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say I recommend it. I think it's a pretty good Netflix original. It's enjoyable. The cast is good. A little violent, a little bloody. Nowhere near as bloody as it should be. Also, if you ever want to see Spider-Man against Winter Soldier in a much more grittier tone, or Spider-Man against Batman, this is the perfect place to go. So that entices you at all, you know. All right, well, that brings us to the end of our podcast. Zachary, do you want to do the wonderful outro for us?
We actually have a special guest to do the outro.
No. I'll end it. Put the baby Yoda away.
If you guys please make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment saying, "Why'd you throw Baby Yoda?" Because I can.
It's like when they punch Baby Yoda. It's just so wrong.
They should have liked, rate, subscribe us on our podcast feed. If you do not know, we also did an Emmy winners podcast as well over the past week. Make sure to go check that out as well. All that good stuff. I would do a song, but clearly from both of our progressions, we're done.
No, we're not. Do the song.